Hello and welcome to Acko Drive. We are in conversation with Hardeep Singh Brar, President and CEO of BMW Group India. And of course, we are going to talk about the luxury vehicle market and BMW's plans and strategies for India. And of course, the overall economy and the growth environment in this country. So let's dive in. Hardeep, thanks for sparing your time.
Well, thank you, Sumantra, for being here. And this is our newly upgraded Retail Next store. And meeting you here is lovely.
That's good. And now things like the intangible aspects of the car retailing business is becoming more and more crucial, right?
Yeah.
For a brand perspective.
People love, what we have done in this new Retail Next is, if you look around, you will only find lounges. There are no tables, no chairs like a traditional car showroom. So people are loving the new concept because, and the beauty is, each of the lounges between the two cars. So you can look at the cars while you are interacting, and then you have a full screen. So any video that you have to look at, you will get a absolutely great perspective about what's in store for
why we flank with cars, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's first of all, Hardeep, give us a flavor of the Indian luxury passenger vehicle market in 2025. How it was? Any key trends that you noticed?
Yeah.
And now that we have just entered 26, how do you see the market progression and any new trends that you are observing?
I think the overall market growth is shared less than 10%. Of course, BMW, we have grown at 14%, so we are almost double the growth versus the luxury market if I compare with the rest of the players. So we have grown at twice the pace. And again, this year in 2026 as well, we are looking forward to growing at 10% plus because our average growth rate has been more than 10% over the post-COVID. Coming to some of the trends that you spoke about, I think one big trend which is catching up in luxury is the electric vehicles, right? At BMW, we were about 8% penetration in 2024, and in 2025, we moved to 21%.
So 8% of your overall sales?
Yes, that's right. And now we are 21%. So you wouldn't have seen such a huge jump anywhere else. I think the mass market has grown from 3 to 4%. Luxury has moved from 8 to 10%. But our growth has been phenomenal. Actually, we are pulling up the overall average for the luxury. So one of the reasons has been, the iX1, which was a new launch last year. I think people love the new design of the car. It is taking care of their cost of ownership apprehensions which they have. And very importantly, the iX1 has a long wheel base, which means your rear seat also gives you more space. And last but not least, I think there was a lot of apprehensions about the resale value of the electric vehicles, and we came out with this 360-degree program along with our financial services, wherein you get an assured buyback on your electric vehicle. So all the apprehensions which consumer had have been taken care of.
Right. And this iX1, the trend, healthy trend, growth trend that we are witnessing. Just give us a flavor of the customer profile. I mean, would almost all of them be existing BMW customers? Is it the second car, third car, or maybe a first car also?
So interestingly, almost 50% of the customers are actually coming from the mass market to the iX1, so to say, because at 50 lakh price point, a lot of customers are coming in and buying from the mass market. And I've been telling that somebody has to play a role of expanding the luxury market across the globe. You'll find all the developed countries, the luxury penetration is 10 to 15%, but in India there's just 1%. So I think BMW is playing that role of expanding the market, and hence we are looking at how do we, while we are focusing on the higher end and sell more cars at the top, but how do we really expand the market is very crucial for us.
And as you also mentioned a little while earlier about your growth outlook for BMW in 26, to sustain that healthy growth trend, how many product interventions are you looking at this year?
So next year is going to be really big for us. We are launching 10.
This year, you mean?
2026. I'm still in 2025 because it's just less than 10 days. So 2026 is going to be really big for us. We are launching 10 big models, out of which 6 are going to be absolutely new models, and 4 existing model will come with a big refreshment. Besides these 10, we also have 17 model changes in the existing one. They are minor upgrade/facelifts. So a huge focus on the product is going to happen in 2026, and which is why I said, we would like to continue with the growth rate which we have planned in the past. We want to continue with that in the future as well.
Official figures are yet to be out by all the industry players. But 2025, was it a record high for the Indian passenger vehicle industry?
Yeah, from both the perspective, both from luxury and mass market perspective or total market perspective, I think the industry has crossed 4.5 million units. I think it was about 4.3 million in 2024, which is a growth of slightly less than 10%. It's a pretty good growth. Same thing is for luxury as well. Last year, luxury, as per the registration data, was about 48,000 units. And this year, as per the registration, it has crossed 52,000 units.
So which means while 2024 was a key year in terms of wholesale dispatch from OEMs in terms of crossing the 50,000 mark, this year, the 2025 is a record year in terms of actual retail crossing the 50,000 mark.
That's right. And once all the OEMs release official data, like we have released 18,001, and our registration and retail is pretty much in sync, both the numbers. So we will get to know what is a real number, but as per registration, it is about 52,000 units.
So all these, the 10 new product interventions, are they, would they include Mini also?
Yes, it includes Mini also. In fact, in Mini, all put together out of 27, the 10 changes are happening in Mini itself. So Mini is going to be going to have the best ever year next year. In 2026 is going to be a big year for Mini. We plan to double the volumes, more than double the volumes in 2026 versus 25. Last year the growth was only 3%. But this year more than 100% is what we are looking at.
So which means if that happens, Mini would cross the 1,000 units mark for the first time.
Of course, yeah. Maybe we are looking at 1,500 plus.
And BMW Motorrad, one key model which was kind of helping the brand go mainstream was the 310 GS, which has been discontinued. While the TVS version continues in its avatar, you're planning to have the 450 GS.
That's right.
What's the status there?
So we'll be launching in the first half of the year, and there's a lot of excitement in the market. People are looking forward to the 450 GS, and then we'll also launch a 1000cc later in the year. So there are going to be 2 big launches in Motorrad as well. But there we are focusing now on the higher cc engines. We are going more towards the core biking. In 900cc, we are a market leader in India, right?
I see.
And that's the DNA which people know us for, and we want to make sure that we live true to our DNA and stay, while we are not focusing too much on our volumes, but we want to make sure that customers are getting experience what BMW stands for.
If I understood you correctly, you're saying 450 would be the stepping stone into the BMW Motorrad, which will launch in the first half of this year. First half would mean first quarter, second quarter?
I think we will let you know very shortly. But we will continue with 350 RR as well, which is what you mentioned. We are collaborating with TVS on that. So that will be our entry, and then 450 GS and then 1000cc. And so 2 big launches happening in 2026 for Motorrad as well.
Doesn't BMW see a good scope for that space between 450 and 900,000 because there's premiumization happening in India for two-wheelers also?
Yeah, of course. At every price point, at every engine category, there is a segment. But then we also feel there are true enthusiasts above 900, which are core bikers, and hence we want to focus a lot on that category. Of course, we will get more volumes from 350 and 450, but our true DNA is on the bigger bikes, and we want to strike a balance between the volume and going with what the DNA asks for.
And Hardeep, with your kind of performance, BMW Group's performance in India, where does the BMW Group India stand in terms of the subsidiaries that?
So globally, we have just broken to the top 20 now this year, and the plan is to go to the top 15 by end of this decade, because moment you are in top 15, 20 markets, you gain a lot of attention. And I think everybody knows that India is the next frontier which can explode from luxury viewpoint. So there's a lot of focus from Munich on in India, and we look forward to more action in India.
So you're saying that in 26 your target is to break into, or you broke into?
Yeah, we broke into top 20
in 2025.
That's right. Yes.
And for Motorrad, I think the ranking is a little bit more.
So yeah, Motorrad ranking is higher. We are in top 10, so that's much better.
Lastly, how is the macroeconomic environment according to you currently? And also, one point I missed touching upon was the GST impact.
Yeah.
You reported a record fourth quarter.
That's right.
Was GST the booster shot?
Yeah, of course, GST did help us. So if you see, we started the year with less than 10% growth in quarter one. It moved to 12 odd percent, then we moved to about 14%, and last quarter, first time ever, we did 6,000 units in a quarter at a growth rate of 17%. So that's a big number from that perspective, and GST obviously helped a lot. So our pre-GST growth was about 13%, and post-GST we are at about 17%, which is why we ended up at 14% growth rate for the full year. So it really helped us.
And the overall environment, how is it looking for you?
So macroeconomics, of course, are volatile, I would say, but I think the big positive in India last year was that the government took two bold steps, first in terms of income tax rationalization, then in terms of GST, which has actually neutralized all the effects of the global the geopolitics which is happening. Of course, I feel three industries are really impacted by this. IT, we are already seeing impact on IT industry, which is why the south of India is slightly slower versus rest of India. I think gems and jewelry is another one because of the import tariffs in US that is getting impacted. I think, and third, of course, is the textile. So I think there will be a bit of impact on this, but because of these big changes in the macroeconomic, in terms of GST changes, in terms of income tax changes, that has given a huge push and has more than neutralized the effect of these impacts. Of course, Forex remains a challenge. The euro, Indian rupee versus euro deteriorated by almost 10% last year, which really impacted while we could not increase or pass it on to the customer. But in fact, we didn't want to take any price increase in January, but we have to take it because the impact is more than 10%, and last year we only increased prices by 3%.
And because of this currency movement also, valuation movement, would you also look at maybe more than just an annual price revision? I mean, is that something that could possibly force you to?
Yeah. So we are increasing by 2 to 3% very soon because of the factors that I mentioned about.
On that note, Hardeep, always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Sumantra. Thank you for being here.